Every workplace has all kinds of people, some kind, some difficult, and some downright rude. But sometimes, the most powerful change doesn't come from shouting or fighting back, but from humility, wisdom, and character. This is the story of Daniel, a quiet worker who humbled his rude boss not through anger, but through excellence. Daniel was a junior data clerk at the massive corporation PrimeCore Industries. He was known for his kindness, his calm spirit, and his unwavering integrity. You'd often find him helping coworkers solve tricky computer problems or staying late to guide a struggling intern. He greeted everyone, from the CEO to the cleaning staff, with the same polite smile. But there was one major challenge in his job. His boss, Mr. Grayson. Mr. Grayson was everything Daniel was not. He was arrogant, impatient, and always shouting. If something went wrong, he was quick to blame others, never satisfied with anyone's work. He'd slam files on Daniel's desk, barking, "Fix this," and "I needed it yesterday." The other co-workers would whisper amongst themselves, "How do we survive this man?" Grayson especially targeted Daniel because Daniel never argued back. He saw Daniel's quiet nature not as strength, but as weakness, and he seemed to enjoy pushing him. Little did he know, he was about to learn a lesson he would never forget. One morning, the office tension was thicker than usual. Mr. Grayson stormed in, his face red with anger, waving a report in his hand. "Daniel," he roared, his voice echoing through the quiet workspace. "This report is full of errors. This is your fault. Fix it now." Everyone froze. But here's the thing. Daniel didn't make the mistake.
A new, nervous co-worker had, and he was now hiding behind his monitor, whispering to Daniel, "I'm so sorry. I messed up."
In that moment, Daniel had a choice. He could expose his coworker and save himself from Grayson's wrath, or he could take responsibility silently. He chose humility. Looking up at his fuming boss, he simply said, "I'll fix it, sir." Grayson scoffed, threw the papers on his desk, and walked away. His coworkers stared at him in disbelief. "Why didn't you say anything?" one asked. Another chimed in, "You should have told him the truth." Daniel just offered a small, knowing smile. "Peace is better than pride," he replied calmly. But something was changing. His refusal to be rattled, his quiet strength, began to bother Mr. Grayson more than any argument ever could. A few weeks later, a major opportunity arrived at PrimeCore. The company was competing for a multi-million-dollar contract, and the success of the pitch depended on a flawless, data-heavy presentation. Mr. Grayson was put in charge. This was his chance to shine. But his team was stressed and completely discouraged by his harsh leadership style. During the first team meeting, Grayson was in his usual form, barking orders at everyone. "You all better not mess this up. My reputation is on the line." The room was filled with fear, not inspiration. Then, a quiet voice cut through the tension. It was Daniel, who had gently raised his hand. "Sir, may I make a suggestion?" he asked. Grayson rolled his eyes, clearly annoyed, but gestured for him to speak. Daniel stood and calmly outlined a brilliant, clear plan. He suggested they divide the workload based on each person's strengths, create a shared online tracker for transparency, and focus on teamwork instead of fear. He even proposed weekly check-ins and open support sessions to help anyone who felt stuck. The team's faces lit up, they nodded enthusiastically, a spark of hope returning to their eyes. Grayson, though visibly annoyed that the idea wasn't his, said nothing. He wanted to win. And deep down, he knew Daniel's plan was better. So, without giving any credit, he secretly started using it to manage the project. The team worked tirelessly, fueled by a newfound sense of collaboration, all thanks to Daniel's quiet leadership. But just 3 days before the final deadline, disaster struck. A massive system crash corrupted the servers, wiping out nearly half of the team's work. Panic erupted in the office. People were shouting, on the verge of tears. Mr. Grayson completely lost his composure. "This is a disaster! We're finished! It's all over!" he yelled, pacing back and forth. But amidst the chaos, one person remained calm. Daniel stepped forward.
"Sir, Don't worry, he said, his voice steady and reassuring.
We can still recover. Let me lead the restoration team. Grayson, desperate and out of options, just nodded, his usual arrogance replaced by a look of sheer panic for the next 2 days. Daniel worked with almost no sleep. He guided the team with calm, clear instructions, turning chaos into focused action. He personally helped fix corrupted files, rebuilt complex data charts from memory, and kept everyone's spirits high, reminding them that they could do it together. While everyone else panicked, Daniel projected an unshakable sense of hope. And by the morning of the deadline, the full report was not just restored, it was better, more polished, and more insightful than before. Mr. Grayson watched from his office, utterly stunned into silence. He had never seen anything like it. The day of the big presentation arrived. The executives watched intently as the project was unveiled. The CEO was incredibly impressed. "This is excellent work," he declared. "The data analysis is groundbreaking. I heard there was a major system failure. Who led this remarkable recovery?" All eyes in the room slowly turned to Daniel. A heavy silence fell over the conference room. Then, Mr. Grayson slowly stood up. He looked not at the CEO, but at Daniel. In a soft voice, one that no one had ever heard from him before, he said it was Daniel. He saved the project, and to be honest, he saved me. The room was stunned. For the first time ever, the rude, arrogant boss had shown genuine humility. They didn't just win the contract that day. Something much more important had shifted within the company. After the successful meeting, Grayson called Daniel into his office. Daniel walked in, bracing himself for another round of criticism, maybe for stealing the spotlight. Instead, he found Mr. Grayson sitting quietly behind his desk. The boss let out a long, heavy sigh. "Daniel," he began, his voice filled with a new kind of emotion. I owe you an apology for everything. You led this team with patience and wisdom. I led with pride and fear. I realize now, I was the problem." Daniel simply offered his kind, familiar smile. "Sir, we all grow. What matters is what we do next." From that day forward, Mr. Grayson began to change. He stopped shouting. He started asking for input. He treated his team with respect, acknowledging their hard work. The whispers in the office changed. It was no longer, "How do we survive him?" But Daniel changed him. Another coworker corrected, "No." Daniel humbled him. The story of Daniel and Mr. Grayson teaches us a powerful lesson. Rude and difficult people don't always need a fight. Sometimes, what they truly need is an example. Humility, patience, and unwavering integrity can be far more powerful than anger. They have the strength to break through even the hardest heart and inspire real, lasting change. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that inspires.